We all ask the question, why must I go through these struggles? In the heart of chaos, it's natural to feel lost. But the oldest stories tell us that struggles are not punishments, but forges, the fire that shapes us. There are moments when life feels unbearably heavy, when nothing seems to make sense, when every step feels like resistance. In those moments, it's easy to believe you are being broken. But what if you are being built? What if the pressure you feel is not meant to destroy you, but to refine you? Look at the stories etched in faith. Joseph, sold into slavery, forgotten in a dungeon. His patience, his unwavering faith that there was a greater plan, elevated him. Job, who lost everything, yet never lost his faith. These are roadmaps of resilience. Joseph didn't rise overnight. There were years of silence. Years when it seemed like God had forgotten him. Betrayed, falsely accused, abandoned. Yet in the darkness, something greater was forming: character, endurance, trust. Job, stripped of everything, wealth, family, health, surrounded by questions, surrounded by pain, yet he refused to curse God. Even in confusion, he held on to faith, not because he understood, but because he trusted. These stories are mirrors, showing that delay is not denial, and suffering is not the end of your story. Ancient philosophy gave us the cardinal virtues as a compass: prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude. When you practice patience, you are waiting with faith. When you choose kindness, you refuse to let your inner turmoil poison the world. You are a lighthouse, not another storm. Prudence teaches you to pause, to not react in haste, but to move with wisdom. Justice reminds you to remain upright, even when others are not. Temperance calls you to self-control, to master your emotions instead of being mastered by them. Fortitude is the quiet strength to keep going when everything in you wants to give up. Every choice, every act of patience, every moment of kindness is a step toward becoming stronger than your circumstances. However, virtue alone can be an impossible climb. This is where faith transforms everything. It is through repentance, acknowledging our limitations, and turning to Jesus that we find true strength. It is about surrendering to a power that can work through you, because there comes a point where your own strength is not enough. Discipline feels exhausting. Doing the right thing feels heavy. Faith carries you beyond that point. Repentance is not weakness, it is alignment. It is saying, I cannot do this alone. It is releasing pride and allowing grace to enter. In turning to Jesus, you are not escaping your struggles, you are inviting divine strength into them. Strength that renews, restores, sustains when nothing else can. So in your chaos, find your anchor. Let your patience be an act of faith. Combine these timeless virtues with a repentant heart, and you will discover you won't just find the strength to survive. You will find peace and even joy in the very midst of the storm, because the storm does not last forever. Even while it rages, you can become steady. Even while the wind howls, you can stand firm. Even while the waves rise, you can find peace. Not because everything around you has changed, but because something within you has. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not without purpose. Hold on. Keep walking. Keep trusting.